Hello everyone, I'm phoenixtremayne, and today we're going to be talking about Kandi and the Gang, episode 2, where we learn way too much about several of the cast's bedroom antics, or lack thereof. But first, if you haven't done so, please comment and subscribe. If you have subscribed, thank you very much, I'd appreciate it. Please hit that like button so YouTube knows good channel for soap fans. And we're going to go ahead and get right into this, because a lot of the second episode began with Patrick Dallas, Kandi's godson and cousin. He's Aunt Bertha's grandson, and he and Melvin, who's the head chef, or they call him the manager of the kitchen, live together. They're cousins, but were raised like brothers. They let us know that he is a reformed Casanova. Melvin is Old Lady Gang's kitchen manager / cook. I said what I had to say, then also saw it in my notes. Patrick is charged of Old Lady Gang's parking lot, and he has a girlfriend named Safari. Dominique and Brandon, that's the bartender and manager, go on a date where he isn't worried about the professionalism lines they're crossing, because Kandi and Todd met while they were working together. He tried to go in for a kiss, but gets rejected because she doesn't kiss on the first date. Although I think in real life that's probably not their first date. But anyway, next Torin invites Shawndreca and Dominique over and try to let him know about Philip. And that they let him know that Philip is someone that they don't like. They also try to get the dirt on Dominique and who she's dating, and she won't tell him right away. Even though when they had the party in the first episode, it was clear they were practically hugged up, sitting next to each other. So it wouldn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that Brandon and Dominique are together, especially even when they're at Old Lady Gang. He's all over her. So, yeah. Once again, reality TV is not reality. Melvin drops by on Bertha's. Oh, Dominique won't tell them who she's dating. Melvin drops by on Bertha's, and we learn a little more about him. How hard he's working at Old Lady Gang, and that Kandi paid for his culinary school tuition. He started as a dishwasher, and now he manages the kitchen. She lets them know that they're having a family intervention to mend fences with cousin Kim, who used to manage Old Lady Gang, and when she quit, she asked everyone to walk out with her, causing her and Mama Joyce to get into it. We moving on to Brian. Opens up about being an alcoholic, and that he used to be an Old Lady Gang bartender, which wasn't good for him, so now he's come back as a waiter. Shawndreca plans a fun night out with the staff, which Philip refuses to attend. And I just want to stop right there for a second, because I used to date someone who was a supervisor, and I remember that there was like an office party at what was it? It was an insurance company, one of the big ones. And you know, my ex was like, I don't fraternize with employees. I'm just getting the stuff they need for the party, and then, you know, we can go do whatever we gotta do. So I was like, okay, cool. But it kind of like bothered me, like, you know, because it sounded like condescending, it sounded arrogant. But as I got more into the working world and dealing with different levels of management, and realized that even myself, I refused to go to office parties, because all people did was get drunk, talk about each other's husbands, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever. And it was just a bunch of gossip afterwards. And I was like, yeah, I'll pass. But it also let me see the dynamics. And then when I opened up my own business and I had my own employees, and I was being friendly and trying to be friends with everybody, and I realized how much people began to take advantage of me because we were friends. And so things that before we became friends, where they were just really professional around me, once we became friends, the professional side went out the window. So then I sort of realized what Philip is saying, because I had to learn that, you know, employees are employees and owners and management is owners and management, that once you start blurring those lines, Not to say I'm not friends with any of my employees, but once you start blurring those lines, people's behavior changes, and they get that lack of professionalism. Like Brandon is a manager, but he's also a friend, and with Brandon as the manager, Old Lady Gang has just gotten worse because they don't respect him. He's one of them. So yeah, they had to bring in Philip. You know, if Brandon had did what he was supposed to do as a manager, he would have been director of operations and not Philip. So I can kind of see where everyone is, and that it is important to separate your professional life from your friendship life. So so Philip says he doesn't want to attend the outing. They feel a little offended, but they're glad he's not coming. We get to meet Philip's boyfriend, Felipe, who he's having a long-distance relationship with. And I've seen other people's reviews of the show, and I'm like, do you not have gaydar? Could you not tell from episode 1 that Philip was gay? I mean, it was clear to me. So I'm shocked that some people thought he was straight. But, you know, we got introduced to his long-distance boyfriend, Felipe, who I'll talk about at the end, because I had some thoughts on that. At the staff's night out, Shawndreca, Torin, Brian, and Brandon, plus Patrick. Brandon and Patrick, they're non-drinkers now, because, you know, Brian is an alcoholic. Brian is an alcoholic, and Patrick has just decided to change his life, and he's trying to be, you know, clean. But Shawndreca, Torin, and Brandon are also there, and Dominique. Torin stresses that him and Brandon are just friends in his confessional. Right after Torin says in his confessional that him and Brian are just friends, Brian reveals that they had a little tug before, and that they've tugged before. Now, I don't know if you know what tugging is, but clearly tugging, it kind of goes like this. So we kind of know that they've little tugged before. And he says the reason why they only tugged was because Torin's D is just too big. So now Torin is probably extremely popular in Atlanta right now, because Brian let the cat out of the bag, and he was trying to show you how big it was, but you know, he kind of let the cat out of the bag. So there's gonna be a lot of people trying to like get news or figure out, you know, what he got going on down there, to scare the hell out of Brian. But anyway, we're gonna move on. Like I said, they were telling a little bit more than we needed to know about their lives, but of course, we're here for it. Shawndreca switches Rashard and Brandon's seats so that Brandon can sit next to Dominique, which frustrates Dominique because she's trying to keep their relationship on the low. Now, this is one of the things that take me out of reality TV. I didn't like it in Love and Hip Hop. One of the reasons why I stopped watching Love and Hip Hop, if you watched it and you remember when Rashida's husband, can't remember his name right now, had an affair on camera. And I'm like, you're just insulting my intelligence. No guy is going to have a secret affair on camera knowing everybody on TV is going to be watching. And that's that's the last season I watched, and I'm not even sure I made it to the end of the season, because I felt like, okay, y'all just doing stuff. Y'all just insult my intelligence now. So when I hear about how Dominique is just like trying to keep everything low, and you know, no, she don't want anybody to know that her and Brandon is having a relationship. Meanwhile, they filming it. It's a secret, but they filming it. You're insulting my intelligence. Okay, you're taking me out of this fake reality TV show and making me look at this like, we need this to hurry up and come out like we saw in the super trailer, because you're insulting my intelligence right now. Patrick arrives revealing he's quit drinking, so both him and Brian are going to be the sober ones at the table. Patrick reveals that he's seeing a cougar named Safari, but they let him know she's not a cougar just because she turned 30. I'm sure his girlfriend does not like being called a cougar as well. Shawndreca reveals that she and Patrick dated for 4 months, but she dumped him because he lacked experience. She went on Tinder and found a new man named June that she's now engaged to and happy. So Shawndreca basically called Patrick out as being not knowing what he's doing in the bedroom. And Patrick and Shawndreca were caught coming out the freezer together by Kandi and Todd back when they were together. Shawndreca says they were in a situationship, and Patrick says it was just bumping and grinding. They weren't really dating. So, even though Shawndreca says she dumped Patrick, she looks really annoyed listening to him talk about how great his new girlfriend is. She looked jealous as hell. So that could be a problem in the future if that jealousy grows into wanting him back, even though he didn't know, she claims he didn't know what to do in the bedroom. Patrick asks Torin, I'm sorry I spelled it wrong. Patrick asked Torin to decorate the apartment. I'm sure that'll be like in the next episode or one coming up. They're setting up that storyline. They started talking bad about Philip. They make bets on how long he will last, and Shawndreca talks about being underpaid by Kandi. She makes $12 an hour and minimum wage is $15.50. She says Family Dollar is paying $17.50. And they also mentioned that the food is very inconsistent. Meanwhile, Patrick is sitting there fuming. That's Kandi's godson / cousin. Patrick is sitting there fuming because he's like, he won't tolerate. He's thinking this he's saying this in his confessional that he's not going to tolerate anybody talking bad about old lady gang. So we know he's going to be snitching. Kim and Nora start arguing and almost get into a fight. Mama Joyce is accusing her of saying Old Lady Gang is her restaurant. The only thing that calms them down is eating fried chicken. That's what happened in a nutshell. Literally, fried chicken. Stop the argument. Kandi and Philip talk at Old Lady Gang. He snitches about everything that happened at the gathering, tells her that Shawndreca complained about her pay, and Kandi says, well, she's barely there. Now, her barely being there and her pay, with the minimum wage being $15.50, it's debatable. Unless you're just saying that you don't value her enough because she doesn't do enough hours, so you're giving her the minimum that you're going to give her. Don't look good on cam. So it doesn't look good on camera. It didn't look good. For Rashard saying he had to take a pay cut coming from Blaze when Kandi and Todd owned Blaze and they owned Old Lady Gang. He should have been at the same salary. If they're asking him to come there and even help Shawndreca learn how to be a good hostess, and they're millionaires, so it's like I said, small businesses I give a pass. But when you're multi-millionaires making hand over fist money, and we know this show is going to make the restaurant even more popular, and people are going to be going there to try to see Shawndreca and Dominique and all these people because now they're going to be considered reality show celebrities. You're going to be making so much money, so it made Todd look bad that he felt that his customers could just sit in the dark because they don't have a generator, and he's alright with that even though they're millionaires. It makes Kandi look bad that she's not paying her employees when she can afford to pay them a living wage. Okay, so the last thing that happens is Torin coming to Old Lady Gang. Don Juan tells him that there have been some changes to the space where he throws his parties, whatever, and he needs to get acclimated to it. When he goes there, Philip is waiting with an attitude and basically tries to interview Torin for a job that he already has. After they go back and forth, finally Torin says that Kandi is the one that hired him, and if he has a problem with that, he needs to talk to her, which pulls Philip's card and makes him look stupid. because Kandi personally asked him to come back. Now, this is why I held off about talking about, you know, the Brazilian lover Felipe, because just like I knew Philip was gay, just gaydar, but I was the only one that saw sparks. I'm like, is Torin and Philip gonna get together? I saw chemistry. Was I the only one that saw chemistry? I know some of y'all just saw an argument, but I saw chemistry. You got a long distance boyfriend living in Brazil, and you got Torin right there in Atlanta. I have a feeling, even if it's not on camera, because I've done a lot of production. I've been doing production for like 20 years. And I always know when my actors, 99% of the time, are feeling each other or screwing or whatever. And I got that same feeling when I sense my actors are doing stuff, you know, that usually they're married, they should be doing anyway. But they doing stuff, you know, and they're not making a big deal about it. They're not telling people about it. But I'm like, oh, I know what this is. I know what y'all doing. And I'm always right. I'm always right. And when I saw Torin and Philip, and I saw that same chemistry I've seen in other actors that I realized eventually got together, if not in that moment, but they were leading to it. Am I the only one that sees that? I don't know. I'm usually right. Which is how the show ended. And I think I'm the only one watching the show that was like, I see sparks. But time will tell. Time will tell. So thank you for watching. I'm Phoenix Tremaine, and I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.